The Game Awards is almost here. In just a few days, we'll finally see what game wins Game of the Year. But before that, I want to make some predictions about what I think is going to be shown. Recently, in a Q&A with Jeff Keighley that has now been privated, he confirmed that the Game Awards 2023 will run roughly 2.5 to 3 hours, teasing fewer games ahead of the show this time compared to past shows as there are more new game reveals. And with previous years, we've seen major release date announcements at the Game Awards. Just last year, we had Final Fantasy XVI, Diablo 4, Street Fighter 6, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. The first game that comes to mind is the new Dragon Age game. We know it's supposed to come out sometime next year, but with the recent restructuring of BioWare leadership, I'm not so sure it's going to come out next year. I am expecting it to be at the show though, and I'm expecting a gameplay or a cinematic trailer to show what the story is going to be about. Anything but another slideshow trailer like we got a couple of years ago. One that I'm not so sure about is the new Wonder Woman game. And I'm only not so sure about it because in just a few months Suicide Squad is coming out. And I feel like Warner Brothers would want to focus all their attention and time, especially at a stage as big as the Game Awards, to that game in particular. So maybe it'll be there, maybe it won't. But if it is, I'd expect the gameplay trailer personally, and I hope it looks good. I don't even know where to begin with Xbox Studios. We already know what most of their studios are working on. The only one that comes to mind that I can really think of is the Coalition with Gear 6 showing up at the show. It would make the most sense. We haven't heard anything from them since 2020 when they stopped doing development on Gears 5 and focus all their attention on Unreal Engine 5. Or maybe they're working on a whole different game, a brand new IP, but I highly doubt it because they left Gears 5 at a cliffhanger, and I'm pretty sure they want to finish that story and provide a conclusion with the new trilogy. Other things Xbox could announce might have to do with something Xbox 360 related. Sarah Bond tweeted a picture of the 360 logo about a week ago now. I'm thinking it might be Activision games becoming backwards compatible. That would be super huge, as there are a bunch of Activision 360 games I'd really like to play again. Something that I don't personally think is going to show up is the new Xbox. Now we know with the leaked documents that happened a couple months ago that Xbox has a mid-gen refresh. It's the digital-only console. I just don't think it's going to be at this show though. But they have done it before in the past. They announced the original Xbox Series X there, so who knows? We'll see. For PlayStation, I would expect Rise of the Ronin to be the first game that they show off. We know Sony's internal studios are helping with this game, and we also know that they're publishing it, so it's going to be a PS5 exclusive, and I think that they're going to show it here. I'd expect Sony to show off that new Stellar Blade game here, maybe give a release date for it sometime next year. We know Sony just signed a deal with that studio, making them a second-party studio pretty much. The game looks cool. I like the combat. It looks a lot like DMC and Nier, so I'm looking forward to it. There are other games that Sony could show off. The new Final Fantasy game might get a trailer. And of course, the new Death Stranding game will obviously be there. It's Kojima. Jeff Keighley loves Kojima, so I'd expect a trailer and maybe a release date. A big thing Sony could do is give Wolverine a release date and maybe a new trailer. That is my most anticipated PlayStation game, probably one of my most anticipated games for the future. So I'd really like to see it here. If not, I'll understand. Insomniac just released a huge Game of the Year contender game a couple months ago. Now there's two big more announcements I think are going to happen that I want to talk about. And the first one's going to come from Sega. Now I know a lot of people are expecting it to be something like Persona, but I have a theory that'll make people suggest otherwise. Lately, Sega has been sending out these little pamphlet cards. And I've noticed that they're sending it out to big fighting game YouTubers, people like Maximilian Dudes, Unruly, and it's just really strange for them to do. But then I was looking into it, and Virtua Fighter has its 20th anniversary coming up in a few weeks. So I think the big announcement's going to be a new Virtua Fighter game, which will be huge for the fighting game community. The last Virtua Fighter was in 2006 with Virtua Fighter 5. That was 17 years ago, and I think it's going to have a resurrection just like Samurai Showdown just did recently. The other big one is Capcom. Now the fanboy in me really wants it to be a versus fighting game, something like Marvel vs. Capcom 4, but realistically it's going to be another Monster Hunter game. We know that they're going to release a big game in early 2024, and we're going to see it here. Either that or it's not coming in early 2024. The few others I can think of is Skull and Bones? Yeah, I'm not expecting it to be there. I think it's going to get delayed again. It's not coming in 2024. Now, Rockstar, I don't know. The GTA 6 trailer's coming out in a day, so I'm not sure if they're even going to show anything at the Game Awards. Maybe it's an extended trailer. Maybe it's a different trailer. Maybe they just want to be at the Game Awards, but they don't need to be. Rockstar is one of the biggest companies in the world. They can show it on Twitter, and it would gain as much traction as it would at the Game Awards, so I wouldn't expect them to be there. Another far-out prediction could be BioShock 4. We know it's coming soon. Maybe they'll get a trailer at the show. I highly doubt it, though. Well, that's all I could think of for what's going to show up and what's going to be at the Game Awards this year. If you thought of something I didn't think of, go ahead and put it in the comments below so I can read it. And I hope you guys have a good day.